Yeah. There's, I think it's always a plus to do that, just because, I mean, that would be terrifying if that was a thing that I had to deal with.
Order notification, and I have no idea what the fuck I ordered.
It's a big black something.
It's a big
I've never
black
found-
Alexa.
Yes.
Oh dear.
You heard it here first, folks.
Evidently, this is why. Good. Hello.
You heard it in
Streaming. Oh dear.
Good hello, sports fans.
Yes, indeed. All you Michael B. Jordan fans out there, enjoy your Alexas. Yup. Okay. Just can let me know again if the audio is.
Oh, right, it was a roleplay book.
Yeah, I think the audio is good. I figured it was. But it's always the cheeky webcam deciding to steal the audio. Does that?
There you are.
Not.
You have a background.
I do indeed. I do
Ooh.
indeed.
It's your first time.
Yeah, sadly it was introduced in the last Friday game, so the Wednesday folks never got it. Just managed to cycle round finally.
But what is it? The advert says your living room shamed or something? That you've got to have the background filter on?
Oh my.
Are you ashamed of your background?
Me? No. Quite liked
I
my
mean,
background.
See if
Enjoyed
I
the
did have
mystery
like,
door?
a webcam. Oh my god, yeah, I'd be ashamed of this fucking shithole.
Yeah. My background's just boring, that's the only difference, right? I have roleplay books, piles of stuff that I'm working on, which is mostly paperwork, and a Borg cube full of roleplay books. Lots of Star Wars Legion things to build and paint. A lamp.
It's kind of cool. If you like reach back and pick up something, it looks like you're like picking it up from the world.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I just go in.
He's just plucking it out of Russia.
I just.
From Russia with love.
So I managed to steal Anakin.
Complete.
Let's put him back. Yeah. Yeah, it's the background stuff's quite fun. I think it looks better than just nothing because it was just kind of dull and well, like backlit white wall. I had the mystery door over there. That was quite fun for a while. I enjoyed the mystery door, but then that's a gimmick that runs its course eventually, you know.
But can you make yourself a cat?
Can I make myself a cat? I do not need to be. I guess.
Can you make a bear?
Can I make a bear? I mean, I don't know why I'm asking. I'm answering even these questions. In fact, I don't even know why I'm answering them anymore.
I for some reason feel like it should be an origami challenge. Like you said, you've got a lot of paper in the background. So
paperwork.
fold a bit.
I said not just paper. Although I don't think I've ever made an origami like cat or bear. I've made a frog
What about
and
an cat or bear?
I've made I've made a swan and a crane, but no, none of the rest. So anyway, wistful thoughts. Session 39, folks. That's what we're on. Session 39. It's madness. So, welcome to the Invasion, Session 39. I am Ryan, the GM. So I'm told. It is the 17th of February, 2021, and here are the players.
Oh yes. Hello. My name's Gregor. I play Adair. Sorry, my brain completely switched off there. As does Adair's. Yes, he is Air Genasi, who likes to see himself as a bit of a rogue, and as it turns out, he's actually quite good at being a rogue. Yeah.
My name's Dylan, and I'm playing Xarxus, a changeling bard who is currently in the body of a tiefling.
Good evening, my name is Alexander, and tonight I will be playing Fleabite the Skaven, who's still pretty terrible at everything.
And he's muted.
I
Probably.
went to unmute myself, folks. Turns out I wasn't muted. Continue. exciting scenes. I think the important takeaway though is, hi, I'm Colin. I will be playing the young Cruella de Vil in this fascinating origin story. No, the jokes in that are all played out already. Stop talking about it. Anyway, I'll be playing Vanger, who is a kind of dwarven priesty druid clericy guy and person fellow chap.
Way to date the session though with a nice Cruella stamp.
This will never date, Ryan, because people will never stop making these fucking shit jokes.
Or just because people will never watch this, so it can't date just by lack of observation. So yeah.
That's my excuse, personally. No one watches this, so I can't.
So to everyone that didn't watch this, leave a comment below proving us wrong. Or just get your amazingly buff Alexa to do it for you. I don't know. Like your choice. Go Super Bowl. So, what do you remember from last time?
I got a watch.
Stole a watch. You stole a watch.
I acquired a watch.
Through theft.
You can't prove that.
There's tape.
There was no CCTV in that place. I checked.
Okay, so there's still a watch.
Did from a rather pleasant woman actually, who was just making him, measure him up with her mind and make
She overcharged me.
lovely.
You think?
So
I
custom
don't know.
suit.
I haven't seen it yet, so
A beautiful, unique creation, the likes of which will never be seen again.
I'm really gonna horribly disappoint you that you may never actually see this, by the way, Gregor. Just so you know.
what?
Like I didn't just spend 2 weeks drawing clothing. Like
Why didn't you? I mean,
my commitment to the bit isn't that strong, I'm afraid. I'm
I mean, you
sorry.
must have some sketches and some rough ideas and measurements and.
I mean, what's the scope on the word rough? Because, like, you know,
I'm watching your arm to see if you start
like, I mean,
drawing.
Do you not have anything in your closet that would fit the bill?
The mystery door.
now,
Show it off.
first of all, how dare you? Second of all, of course I do. Oh dear.
Who's to dare you?
Regardless of that, what else happened last time besides stealing from a lovely tailoress? Or yeah, I guess that'll do.
She Taylor. I went
Mhm.
to the library
Mhm.
where I encountered Richter von Rune.
Yeah.
We ended on the suggestion there may be some sort of revelation come about the Tanan dynasty in the was it a family tree or something?
Yeah. He definitely hinted heavily that there was something interesting to be discovered about the family tree regarding the Twinans. Yeah. And it seems like he laid out a whole bunch of books for you and then left.
Yeah.
So
It did seem quite convenient, didn't it?
Hmm.
almost slightly contrived, actually. No, wait a minute.
Almost did it on purpose.
Yeah. Weird how that happens, you know. Don't know. Anything else happen? Definitely not looking at Alexander here.
I mean, yeah, obviously Fleabite did some shopping. With mixed success, got some things. Might now have like a warrant for his arrest being circulated around somewhere, but
I was gonna say it's not mixed yet. Yeah, I'm not above those jokes either.
Right. There's no law against having a ski mask and a gun in your car, you know?
I think
Doesn't mean you can't get in trouble for it though.
there might be laws against
yeah, there
that.
is literally laws for that.
Oh dear.
I mean, in certain places.
I mean, here, if you
Yeah.
have a knife that you don't need, that's
I mean, everyone.
I mean, so that's very sketchy, right? Because if you're buying a gift for someone that happens to be cutlery, you technically don't need them. Just saying. I mean, you could have got them an album cover or something. Who knows?
we've got them some unmixed, just random potion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some non-illicit
Unlabeled,
paraphernalia of the organic variety. Yes. Really sounds like we're trying to say drugs when we're not. But anyway.
Digitalis is nice this kind of year.
Yeah. So, regardless of that, I guess we'll just peruse what goals are still in place then.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, general goals. We still have the wonderful, the everlasting Tachyoptera calastris Tunan connection to the box. Attempt to recover the box from the cave. Rescue Sarah if she wants. Find out what the package was. Keep Cantor/Warren alive during Sister Heist. Some of the wording of these are amazing. We didn't get a personal goal for Adair.
I'm afraid not.
Nope.
Not yet.
And we still have the Face Lord Tunan for Xerxes. We then have a make a potion/poison for the heist from Fleabite. And uncover Tunan mystery in library for Venger. So there we go. There is our goals. So I think the best thing to do would be to open on Venger in the library as he's left to it.
And naturally, I will go over and investigate what Windrun has indicated.
So, given that Vonrun has assisted you in this, you may roll with advantage and investigate check.
Right. Does that mean normal then? Because I'm currently at disadvantage.
Yes, that's what that means.
Oy vey.
Hey, I mean, this
Oh,
is what dying in a
no.
cave means, okay? Okay. It just means you're not going to get the answers anytime soon, right? Because the scene would be interpreted as you look over the materials and you just don't see what he's hinting at. But Vonrun's not exactly going to say, by the way, there's a thing, hint, and then just kind of leave you to it, right? He's going to probably be onto something. So you know that you're not just going to get up and fuck off, right? You're going to stay and probably try and pour over this a bit more.
Oh yeah.
It just means it's going to take a bit longer.
He's not going to give up immediately after going, well, didn't find anything in 9 seconds. So.
But we'll come back to you as you start pouring through this. Unless there's anything you want to do to alter your scenario or situation, because I mean the librarian is around there somewhere as well.
I don't know if I want to consult her on this still.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so I think I'll just continue pouring over it.
No problem.
Maybe I'll sort of consult the books a bit as well, see if I can get any hint as to what might be interesting about it.
No problem. I'll come back to you in a wee second then. So
Okay.
we know that we had obviously Xerxes and Adair. Yous were leaving Meals and you were heading towards where exactly? Just gonna like sync back up with Fleabite or what? What was the plan? Because everybody just split
Well-
at the square, remember?
hmm
I believe that was everything that Adair needed to do because he's got his fancy suit on the way to Madame Emerald. So yeah, unless Xerxes has anything to do.
No, I remember I was out for something and then we realized that I didn't actually need it. I went with you.
It was the amber covered eyelash or something? right? Something like that. Random,
Oh yeah,
Spell
for the
component.
for the spell.
but then you remembered that
That's right.
arcane foci and what do you call them? Component pouches cover.
Magically gifted.
Diddly.
hmm So
Yes.
yeah. In that case, then we're back at the ever shifty Fleabite and his purchasing spree.
Well, I think it's probably, it's a new city, and it might as well ask someone that has seemingly knows the area. So I think Fleabite should probably try and liaise with Xarxes on local matters.
Okay, isn't that the most formal thing Fleabite's ever said? Yeah, I guess while you two are heading back to the square again, you probably see a 3.5-foot rat hunched over,
Jump
making
out
a
of us.
beeline for you. Yeah.
Ah!
I love the choice of the word liaise, not just because it's formal, but because it sounds weirdly like a police officer. Like, I don't know how well any of you know Cockney police officers, but I've worked with an ex-Cockney cop, and that literally is the sort of thing you'd say. Liaise on the, it's
On the
it's
local
just-
matters, yeah.
It's weird. It's just one of those words they use, and it just made me imagine him as a cop.
Fleabite, the undercover cop, so undercover, he just does
That's one
crime.
thing.
He just does crime.
Oh, that's that. You can't believe your cover.
Yeah.
You got to do the crime, or don't believe you're a criminal.
So underground, he became a rat. Like what?
Yes.
Yeah.
He takes his job well serious.
And so it just becomes a crime show now, like a cop drama. I can't do any of those accents, sadly, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. But that's fine.
Any police accents? None. Not allowed.
Yeah. But yeah. So Fleabite, you approach the red and blue officers.
I think Fleabite would try and sort of usher them to the side, maybe try and be less conspicuous than the tiny thing, the giant red thing, and the blue thing.
Adair's just standing there proud as anything. Always.
It's a new watch.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll be checking the time every 5 minutes. But emphasizing it, kind of like, yeah, look.
Probably just
I-
like indicate, like come down to like more like ear height, so that
Come down to your level.
Yeah.
I get down on a bended knee. And, what is it, boy?
Need someone
Who's in a
from
well? Yeah.
It's red thing. You know Nestwarren City well. Yes.
Yeah, I know it pretty well.
You nowhere could find by certain useful things of not easy to find substances. Yes.
Oh. And what is it you are looking for there, Fleabite?
Components and ingredients. Yes, for great potion mix.
I see. I might happen to know a guy. As I say, as I roll, I assume history. What is local in 5e?
What is it you're
Still
trying
pretty-
to do?
Essentially, like, do I know a place, right? Like that you could buy some less than reputable goods.
It depends specifically what he's after, right? Maybe you need to find out what it is, because just saying, do you have something that's not so easy to find? It's a bit vague, right?
Okay. And what exactly are you looking for, Fleabite? I say in like kind of like a hushed whisper.
Alchemical supplies, yes, and specific component potions.
Oh? Are you trying to make some poison?
Yes.
Now what do I roll?
Let's see. What do we have available? Because I feel like history is probably your best bet, right? But then,
Culture.
yeah,
Culture.
culture. Yeah, let's go with that, right? Let's go with that. Let's just have
History?
a history roll. Yeah, you know a guy.
I'm the worst intelligence company ever.
You know a guy.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I know someone. He typically hangs out in this back alley. As I tell him which back alley it is.
His name is Mickey the Fence.
Mickey the Fence. Oh, that's all Nikki's. That's all Nikki's favorite supplies.
Mickey,
Oh, Mickey.
like the mouse.
Or like Mickey D's. Or an Irishman.
You want me to take you to him?
Yes, lead on.
Well, Adair, I trust you can make the rest of the way.
I will. Wait, where are we to meet? Should I go find the wee man, the Wagner?
It's sure. I
Ah,
don't know where he is, but
I can't remember if we knew where he was going or not.
He did say he was gonna go, but it was kind of as you were leaving, so I think this is fair. You don't necessarily know.
well, good luck.
As Adair just stands in the square, kind of like, wait, what? Where'd everyone go?
But he did say, so it's not like you can't decide it suddenly comes to you at some point, you know. Not like misquoting or nothing. You did say that as they were kind of like walking away from you, right? Wenger.
Yeah, I believe it did. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I was just making that up. It has been.
No, I think I did say something about going to the library, didn't I?
Yeah, but I definitely think it was as they were like heading off to the shopping adventure at the same time, so it was more of a.
They can excuse having heard it if
Mhm.
they rolled successfully. No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, they definitely heard. I accidentally said it much louder than I intended to.
Yes.
What,
Barked at strangers.
I would say Adair would wait outside the library, as if his date is inside, he does
Mhm.
not want to appear too keen.
Yeah, wedding day
he will-
rules, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll wait on the outside the library, maybe off to the side of the door a wee bit,
Mhm.
not to look obvious, and hope she doesn't see me and think, "Wow, what a stalker."
It's so strange because the library's busier than you've ever seen it, given that you generally don't see MD in it. But there seems to be, fancy folks heading to it on this very day, more so than normal. It's not mobbed or anything. It's just being frequented. Like a shop would be that sees reasonable custom through the day.
Am I seeing a lot of people leaving with books?
I mean, some, yeah, some. But again, no more than like one per person, if that makes sense. Some people leave with none. It's just, yeah, odd because you've never really seen people come and go from the place before.
Do I see any servants of said noble people?
No, it's definitely fancy people, like the people who would employ said servants.
Cool. Okay. I think if I get the chance, I would maybe just get one's attention, just politely, and sort of make a random inquiry.
On
as
the
to-
way in or out?
I would get someone's attention as they come out,
Okay, yeah.
just to say, "Oh, I do not believe I've ever seen library so busy. What? Please tell. Is there a new book out?"
And then, like the couple that kind of like walk out. The woman like clutches like clearly her husband's arm kind of tighter as he's holding onto the book, and then she looks quite excited. At the idea that you've spoke to them, and she looks at him and then looks at you and then goes to speak and then looks at him again, and she turns to you again and she says, You're one of them, aren't you? She says, like, very bright-eyed.
You mean a noble? Of course I am.
Yes, noble-blooded.
This is what I say.
And you choose to speak to us?
Yes. At this point, I would like to see if I can see the spine of the book he's carrying. To see if I can read it.
Not from the angle you can, like, he's holding it so the spine's, like, facing down the way under his arm. And he, like, adjusts the way he's standing to try and be a bit more comfortable, realising he's maybe going to stand for longer than 2 seconds. And he says, yes, good day, sir. And he kind of leans into that question.
Oh, please. My name is Adair. And I do a courteous bow.
And she claps excitedly. And then he takes off his hat and nods to you and says, if I'm not mistaken, you're Genasi, yes?
This is correct.
And you're a guest of Lord Tonan?
This is also correct.
Forgive me, you stopped us.
Pardon?
And he says, forgive me, you stopped us. Forgive my questions. You had one?
I was unaware I was suddenly so popular.
And then they both of them look at each other and just almost... They don't laugh, but it's almost like they're sharing the joke. And then they look at you again. And they go, but you're a guest in the city. And they both just smile at you.
I'm a guest of the Tonans. Please, what is book?
And he holds it up and he's like, oh, just an excuse really. And then, yeah, it's about agriculture and farming.
Excuse? You do not have chance to do farming?
No. A library. It's quite popular recently. And then, like, they both just kind of like look at each other a little bit embarrassed, and then look back at you, smiling politely. They're like, once your duties with Lord Tonan free you up, perhaps you'll come to our house. We would love to host you an evening.
I'm sorry, I did not get your name.
Yeah, because I didn't fucking make up a name now.
Get the chart.
And they go, I know this isn't when I have to fucking remember all the nobles I decide to name. It's like, we are the Yana noble house.
The Yana.
Yeah, Y-A-N-A. Oh, I'm going to have to write this fucking down as well. Mickey the Fens, House Yana. Committing myself to more fucking things.
I don't suppose, I mean, I'm just going to be a pain in the ass. When it came to the fancy clothes place, was that one of the noble houses? That
of course
was
it was. You know this from when I mentioned all the house names. This is how you GM folks, by the way. This is.
Oh yeah. Of course I said that. What? You think I make these up on the spot?
So I have to get someone to go edit that video for me, so it just has this piece of audio. Just horribly dubbed over by various videos of my face in different positions.
All the families here, including Yana.
Yep. All those noble houses. I will need to write them down at some point and make a list, possibly in an NPC document.
Possibly.
Yes. Yeah. So they kind of look excited at that, and they look almost pensive when they've asked as well, and they very eager faces as well.
Well, my time here in city is taken up a lot by the Tonan. I'm not sure if I would be able to come for a lovely evening without, I do not want to say incentive, but it's difficult to find times to...
Roll persuasion.
Dang it.
That could go well.
It could, but then again, maybe not. Persuasion. Let me just double check on my normal. Yep.
What are you actually? Are you trying to ask them to give you money to turn up for dinner?
No, more a reason.
Okay.
Boom. Boom.
Wait, I withdraw that. I want money.
Well, tough. No, like, so they both look almost embarrassed, and they go, "Oh, of course. It must seem silly of us, a lesser noble house, after you're being hosted by, Lord Tunan, of course. And keep in mind, hosted does mean you're staying with them, right?
Well, did I mention I'm good friends with the
no.
Richter Ron von Roon as well?
He's entirely going to emerge now and say something diminishing and.
And, you know, Lord Yana just leans into his coat, pulls out his metal mask, puts it on, and goes, "Ha! Caught!" But no. Puts her on like a cloak. She wasn't even a person the whole time. She was just the rest of the outfit.
I've seen stuff like that before, to be fair.
I mean, it's not the weirdest thing that's happened in this game. And, sorry, Alexander. And, yeah. The Lord and Lady look embarrassed, and then they say, we would happily host you, for as long as you would like to stay with us, of course. We would introduce you to our social circles, if that would be of any benefit to someone of your stature. Of course, if you don't have any time, I imagine you're quite sought after. And they look a wee bit like almost embarrassed, like they didn't offer anything, if that makes sense. Like, because obviously they didn't really expect that they needed to, but now they feel like it's awkward. Yeah.
Adair would be happy to. Yes. How would I say this? With a big smile, Adair would be, of course, in when I am finding the free time, I shall be coming to see you. Please, if I can, I will send the word ahead first that I shall be arriving to give you plenty of time so as I can be meeting your friends as well. I'm happy to meet social circles.
And they both look, delighted, and they go, "Of course, we wouldn't expect anything before the wedding, of course. But it does mean that if your business is concluded after the wedding, then you'd be more than welcome to." And then she waves her hand daintily in the air, and she says, socialize.
No, of course. Will I be seeing you at the wedding?
I would hope so. You owe me a dance. Then she smiles and winks at you.
Oh, of course I do.
And then and he kind of clears his throat at that and goes, "Forgive us, our duties await." And he tips his hat again and takes the book back off you.
Oh, yes. Of course. I will be more than happy to see you at the wedding. Please save dance for me, both of you. Wink, wink.
And he says, "Yes, delightful. Quite." And then he looks at her, and then she looks at him oh, this couldn't have gone better. And then they both curtsy and leave. During this time though, at least 2 other people have came and gone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So
I'm very suspicious, so I think at that point I'd make my way inside the library to find out what is going on. What are they going to look at?
Perfect. We're going to harsh cut back to the Xarxus and Fleabite adventure. Right? You 2 are somewhere through several, left and right turns of an alleyway system, right? Possibly not too dissimilar to the locations you'd have found, Falcon and whatnot, and same idea of the, back alley-ness, I guess is the best way I can put that. I could put that way better, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, so you're there, and you're at Mickey's spot, where if you wanted Mickey, get him, and he's lying there with a knife in his chest, dead.
I go get the knife.
Oh my god. Wow.
Mickey the fence is dead.
Is it well, it's probably a roll investigation for this, but is it a fresh body?
I mean, that'd be medicine, right? If you're looking to do some kind of.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ah,
Possibly a day or two. Given how cold it's been, it's difficult to say because, yeah, but it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
It's not exactly warm, the body. Yeah, that seems redundant, but that makes sense to me. Yeah, looks like he's at least spent a day in the cold, at least.
yeah. Well, lean down,
Fleabite's already pulled a dagger out of his chest, right?
pat him down to see if he's got anything good on him.
Yeah, now you can roll investigate.
Ferociously googling, do rats have fingerprints?
Weirdly, you get almost everything Fleabite needs.
Oh.
Would say murderer.
Mhm.
Pick it up,
Really thoughtful.
go, some flea bite. How much you want for this?
Yes, yes. Very surprised that there was drow poison on this guy.
I did say almost everything. So sadly, the D is extra, it's just row poison at the moment.
Is this about what you're looking for?
Fleabite sort of holds dagger. I mean, like, dagger or things. And then sort of holds it up to like handle first, like not brandishing at you. No, it's gonna be a mugging after a murder.
Although,
I was actually really hoping you were going to do
I was kind of hoping that.
Could have played the whole part. Deal, and I'll hand over the goods. Take the knife and kind of just look at it. Nothing special about it, I assume.
it's literally an iron dagger. Yeah, like it's a bit shoddy actually, but yeah. Besides that, yeah.
Covered in blood. God.
We don't have to worry about fingerprints in this world, right? There's no CSI.
I mean, no.
We just incriminate ourselves into this.
No,
I mean,
it seems fine.
cut
Right?
to Bill Bresham.
But surely you can just change your fingerprints and nothing else about you.
Also, you have like, unless Xerxes hasn't changed his fingerprints to be Xerxes's fingerprints, right? That'd be weird. Dear gods. There is something else on the body as well. There is a white opal. That is there, which is just
opal.
a white opal. About the size of your thumb.
It's like a okay.
Yeah.
Let's pick it up. Nothing magical about it that I can.
No.
That's cool.
No, but if you get it appraised, you'll find out how much it's worth.
All right. Well, at least the trip wasn't worthless
Mm-hmm.
for Mickey, but
For both
if I had a hat, I'd take it off.
Are you sure you want to get that appraised? That's all I'm saying.
I know this. This was Mickey's.
This was Mickey's.
Actually, just says Mickey's on the back. No, don't.
Well, it could be a calling card. It could be, it could be many things.
Maybe I have another fence that doesn't mind where it's from.
Specializes in white opals.
Yes.
Team defense.
Oh dear.
Mini.
That's better. Actually, I like that better.
Oh dear. Terrible. Terrible.
Domino.
So what is the plan now, guys, in the alleyway of crime?
Oh no!
I should probably leave.
I mean, is there any? Could we have a quick see if there's any signs of like scuffle?
If there was, the snow.
I'm not sure if Fleabag cares.
I was gonna say the snow seems to have covered up obviously most of what's happened, right? And there's no like giant footprints anywhere, or normal sized footprints. Because saying giant footprints isn't that weird in the D&D game.
So they could fly.
I mean, true, right? Could be bats. Bats now wielding daggers, specifically. Yeah.
All I'm saying is we've now had Crime Alley and Bats drop. Sorry.
Oh,
Can't
dear.
do this to me, right?
I mean, yeah, but was it Morrow? What's the legally distinct film played on?
Warrow.
Warrow isn't till tonight. It's fine.
Yeah.
We've still got time to protect
And it
that
was-
random Nobel
it
child
wa-
who is about to have a very
It
different
wasn't
life.
Mickey the Wayne, that's for sure. Which would be a great urchin name, wouldn't it have been? But anyway. Yes, so he's in alleyway of crime, and yes.
Yes, very good. Much helpful. You know any people of buy, sell for supplies to help with climbing?
I mean, we could probably go with more legal. But, do I?
I
He
mean,
asks the god in the sky.
I see if you'd skywrite, you could ask them easier.
Oh,
Now, it's more likely that you'd either just make something, right? If you didn't
I'm
want to
looking
go
for-
buy a grapple
Well,
hook.
I'm looking for a climber's pack,
Okay, so you probably just want
which
to
I
go.
presume we don't have the equipment to make.
I mean, I don't know. What's in a climber's pack?
Some things that is also in a thieves pack, or whatever it's called. But I think there's additional things that has an additional uses.
So a climber's kit. What's actually in a climber's kit? So it includes special pitons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness. You can use the climber's kit as an action to anchor yourself. When you do, you can't fall more than 25 feet from the point where you anchored yourself, and you can't climb more than 25 feet away from that point without undoing the anchor. So that's the thing you're after?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like a store could do that. Or you just fashion it yourself by making those things out of other things that are appropriate. So, there's your avenues.
I mean, there'll definitely be a mountain warehouse with a 50% off sale
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
They're always somewhere.
The great outdoors.
No,
So-
Fleabag, it might be a good idea for me to buy this instead of you. If you give me the money, I'll go ahead and go in and buy it for you. I'm a slightly less conspicuous than you.
Also, if I can just
Since
add
the
in
red man to the rat.
if I can do an amendment to the the scene just to give you some more detail, your investigate was finding his stash. This wasn't just stuff on him. This was the stuff that he would then he would make a deal. He'd go around the corner. He'd undo, something like a piece of wood or a floorboard or something on the side of like a building. Take out the stuff. Go back around the corner. Right. So that's what the crit investigate check was. It was you.
So I found his stash, but we didn't search the body.
No, you did search the body, but he's got nothing on him because he was stabbed.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah, I was wondering why the body didn't, why the murderer didn't steal the.
It's just
opal or
it's
anything.
the delay I'm working on, and it all came from Colin being like, maybe it's like a Colin card. I'm like, that wouldn't make sense though. And I realized, oh, it's because I never explained why. Okay, so that was just to give you some more clarity for that. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect. Hence why you got random assortment of various
Goodies.
things. Yes, for Fleabite. Wasn't just this guy was a walking alchemist shop.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I leave the dagger with the body
Sure.
okay.
because I don't want a murder weapon.
Do you push it back in? Or
Nah, just next to him. I feel like that's fine.
okay.
Or maybe I hide it in his stash. That's probably.
Okay.
Because if Fleabite sees it,
I mean, you're gonna have it if you want. I didn't actually want the dagger.
I like to believe the scene is just you put it back with the body, and then as you go to leave, Fleabite just picks it up.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, I feel like Alexander mostly wanted the dagger more than anything. But yes, so where you head to go get some? Just go and buy
Probably
the
back
thing?
to that the town square.
Yeah, and just go and buy this thing.
Mhm.
Alexander, do you know how much it costs?
5 gold.
What was that? Sorry.
25 gold.
Okay. Do you hand over the gold?
I didn't say that.
I mean, that's why I was asking. So what's the convo back from Fleabite as you are walking through the alley to leave?
Because I was the one who suggested I buy it for you. But if you're insistent, I don't mind you just buying it.
Then I think, Fleabite will hand over 25 gold, and say, yes, buy climbing equipment kit, but also see if have anything else useful.
Okay. Whatever that implies.
Right. So yeah, I feel like you can just go off and buy that if that's the case. Like I don't feel like that's.
I'm probably gonna go into some side alleyway and turn into someone random before buying potentially incriminating items as Xarxus the Red.
Gonna show Fleabite this, or is this gonna be secret from even
No.
Fleabite?
Secret from even Fleabite. I'll be like, wait here. And I'll skedaddle somewhere.
Wait here, Lois, I just have to go make a phone call in this public booth.
Exactly.
There we go. And also, perfect, that can be Clark, Yana, and Lois. Yana. There we go. See, who,
I am upset.
who needs anything to GM, really? So, was that, or just somehow make Clarka and Lewis? But let's not go by that. Anyway, yeah, you can shift easily enough, right? It doesn't take any form of exhaustion of any kind, does it? It's just it's just a thing.
It's just a thing.
So yeah, you can shimmy shake your face a bit, and then do you address Fleabite when you go back out, or do you just walk past them?
Oh no, definitely not.
Okay. I guess Fleabite, you're abandoned for a bit.
Dangerous.
Yep. Especially with a new dagger that you know is effective.
Stabby.
If I'm just sort of waiting there for a moment, I think Fleabite would try and get a bit more acclimated to the city. Just sort of seeing the comings and goings and just trying to pick up some more of the patterns of the living city, so to speak.
Yeah. And then do you want to do a perception check then for me? Just I'll have you take in. You know how dangerous it is speaking in an RP?
Yeah, but I didn't think there'd be dice involved.
Yeah, no, it's unusual for me. I know, buddy. Okay, yeah. Maybe just looking over that dagger that you just got. Is that maybe?
Yeah.
Just keeps catching your eye.
Or even just the stuff that you've just acquired, right? Because I mean, you're probably like a lot further ahead than you thought you'd get this quickly.
For a lot cheaper as well.
I mean, arguably the cost of life, but yeah, okay. So, yeah, we'll just have yous play that out, and we'll skip back over to the library with Finger. So, we have you screwing up your face, shaking it off, doing a Taylor Swift dance number in the library, and then sitting back down to the books and having another go at this.
As much as I love Taylor, I don't know if Anger's heard of her. Yes. Yes, let's have a go.
At least we know of at least one Swift Taylor in this city, though. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'll see myself out.
So at this point, I wonder, would I still gain advantage from
Yeah.
doing a second? Yep.
Yeah, like the fact that he's laid everything out for you is his help, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like that is an ongoing effect.
Cool, excellent. Yeah, so having maybe sort of flipped through some of the books to try and gain some more insight, he rolled fucking 11.
Yeah. So things are starting to make a bit more sense now, right? Like you're looking at the things with new eyes, as it were, and you're starting to see that compared to some of the stuff that's been pulled out, right? So there's almost like town census information. It's very badly catalogued because nobody really cared that much about tracking this shit. All the like important house records were tracked by the house itself. The idea of like having some kind of centralized collated information would imply, organization and almost equality in a way that they weren't very fond of here. And also just that a lot of the records probably went when the king went over to Torque.
Sure.
So despite that being like 100 or whatever years ago, some years ago, I will never be held to. And yeah, like you're looking through the list, and there's definitely something weird about the record keeping for the Tonan like lineage. You're not obviously quite sure what yet, but there is something very odd about it by comparison to some of the census information. It's almost like the census was kind of dinged for a while by the Tonan like house by comparison to the other houses at the time. We're only talking maybe about 50 years ago, give or take. Maybe like 70 odd years ago as well, 70 to 50 years ago. There just seems to be nothing for the Tonans. And then it seems to start back up again, almost as if, you could imagine maybe a generation fell out with keeping census or something. That kind of tracks, but no other house did that. Obviously, you've got basic and vague information about some other houses as well. All of the ones that wanted to fulfill their information, which was about 90% of them at the time.
So I think he's probably sort of rubbing his eyes in frustration a bit. Like, something doesn't quite add up here. But he hasn't quite. Yeah, he's not got it yet. But there's definitely something very weird, and he's not giving up in this family tree until he figures out exactly what's wrong.
Yeah. And I think then what we'll do is we'll kind of move the camera way over to the front of the library where we've got a dare walking in.
A dare thinking about walking in. Because I know that my soon-to-be date is in there. The library, is quite popular today. Is there a lot of people in the street as well?
Like, no more than usual, but this time they're not just walking past. People are making as I said, it seems like they're choosing to enter, as opposed to just carrying on with their day. Because keep in mind, Evershade's quite populated. It is quite a... I don't want to say chocker, but it is a fairly busy place.
See, I've got two thoughts of mind. I would either like to sneak in with people that are going in.
Okay.
Or I would try and acquire a jacket quickly to at least hide my brightness, shall we say.
Okay.
And then acquire people to go in with, anything.
Right.
Because I'm very aware my character has very bright clothing. So I would be looking for something quite dull to acquire quickly and just throw over my shoulders kind of thing. Like even if someone was, I don't want to say a shop or a stall, But if there was something like that, I might try my luck.
I mean, you could probably just go buy a coat that wouldn't be particularly expensive, right? Like it would just be a coat.
Okay. You know
Sure.
what? Yeah.
I feel like a
If I-
gold is probably reasonable for a coat. It's probably expensive for a coat, but it's every shade.
Well, if I saw something within eyeshot, I'd make my way over, have a quick look at a couple of coats, and then I'd see if I could sneak a coat under my jacket without anyone noticing.
You want to elope with a coat? Okay. Sure. Do you want to roll sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand. So I'm going to pick up 2 coats and put 1 down.
Do you want to roll
Then again, I might
stealth?
not.
Okay. Okay. Just gonna roll a wee d20 for no reason at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wander away. Person seems busy.
Cool. Person's slightly distracted. I've got a nice long cloak with a sort of hood on it. Once I get back to the library, I'll put the cloak over my stuff and wait for a couple of people to go into the library and go in with them and then make my own way past the desk.
Do you want to give me another stealth then
Yeah,
for this one? And we can I'll give you advantage for the fucking bullshit you've went through. Using couple and coat, you can have advantage on your stealth. There you go. There you go. Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're now in the darkness behind the desk at the library,
Cool.
where all the
I'll
stacks
make my
lead
way
off.
through this. I'll make my way through the stacks looking for Wagner.
Okay. How do you intend to find him in this cavern?
The time that I've been there before,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that much of the library, did I?
No, like. I'm trying to think how much you'd have saw of it, but like you've probably only seen like I don't know, like a fifth, if that.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Like, this place is big. Because think of like a massive old-timey country estate house, right?
Mhm.
But then think of it in a busy city, and then think of it. That it's
Reading
all
books as well.
Yeah, like the whole place has been like turned into like rows of shelves and like basically just like horrible warrants, almost like a sewer network of like library books. It's yeah.
Fortunately,
it's
with that in mind, I would just have to take my time going room to room, trying to avoid my librarian if I see her, and until I find him.
Do you have dark vision?
No.
Because it is dark. Remember.
This plan is great.
Yeah. Do you want to do anything
Well-
about the darkness?
Is there any lanterns?
Yeah. Do you
when
want to do a wee sleight of hand? We'll see if you can
Of course, I do. See if I
swipe a
can just
lantern.
quickly-
There we go. Yep. You get yourself a wee lantern. Look at that. And then, yeah, do you want to give me I guess you can pick perception or investigate to find Wagner. I really don't mind which, quite frankly.
I'll go for perception.
Okay.
Oh no.
Well, you're going to be a while. So, Wagner,
Yeah.
you'll have time to do some more investigating.
Good.
I suddenly feel like we should have come up with a call sign whenever we're separated.
Woohoo!
A whistle
Woohoo!
from a over here, over here.
Bat screeches.
Damn it, I was going to say that.
My big one. South Park. Dude, giant giraffe. What does that sound like?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yes. He perseveres
Mhm.
with his investigation and
Hey. Hey.
continues to slightly increase his roll every time.
So, you starting to cross-reference some of the stuff, and you've opened about half of the books that are there now, with them all kind of like overlapping each other to try and be bookmarks for each other.
I've done that in real life.
And they're all, as I said, everything for other houses seems to make sense in terms of what data has just been sent and what data hasn't been. The Tonan data just seems to not add up. there's definitely... It looks falsified. Like, it's just lies. And it definitely seems to be the more recent stuff that's lies than the older stuff. We're not quite sure why yet, though.
Yeah, but he would definitely have the sense that they're hiding something in the...
Yes, definitely. But
Do I
as
have
you,
a sense of the time frame yet?
so within the last 50 years, definitely seems to
So,
be
since the duel.
yeah. And the strange thing about it is the thing you have noticed about it between the other houses is other houses just chose not to submit data in some time periods, right? They've just got blanks and there's notes in the census that say this house did not submit data, and obviously it's rude to request it, so you don't. But the Tonan seem to have submitted false data when they could just have not submitted data.
So they wanted there to be a trail, they wanted there to be evidence of something, but okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think he's probably just sort of muttering, they're hiding something.
It's a shame. It's a shame you didn't get a good,
Seriously.
like a high roll, because you could have shouted "Eureka" or something in Wagner's voice.
No,
then,
could I
but-
hear that?
I don't think Wangel's going to shout Eureka, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I know, especially in a library of all places. Yeah. But yeah, like as you're like muttering away, we then zoom several stacks away over to the not so in the dark Adair. Do you want to give me another roll of your choice?
I'll do perception again.
Okay.
Boop.
Oh.
Ah,
You find yourself at a wall with a big painting of like the Evershade city from a distance, with the big like mountain going up into the clouds at the top of it.
I could use new map.
It's the artist of the painting is Cynthia Von Rune.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it artist or creator?
It's just signed. Cynthia Von Rune doesn't state like what they were, sadly. But it's on the actual painting itself. So that's definitely something that as you look at it, you go, huh, and you like your eyes are just drawn to the signature.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
because interesting. But yeah, after seeing that, I'll continue to look around, but maybe keep a wee eye out for a section of the library saying artists or art or something.
sure, yeah. I think you're
Oh,
probably.
I've misread it. It said arse tits.
I was gonna say you're probably in like the W section, so you're probably way off, quite frankly.
But
But
in my language, we start art with a W.
yes, what?
What?
Oh
Artist.
dear, artists. Anyway, yeah. So you're gonna be
Oh,
in there
wow.
for a while. Yeah. Let me go back to our budding shoppers. What's happening, guys? Did you? Yep, you're
Well, so
yep.
so it happened. The deal happened.
I mean,
About the
unless there's anything else you want to do, yeah, you can just go in and buy it and leave. Like, there's zero
okay.
that needs to be complicated about that as far as I'm
I'm
concerned.
glad.
Yep.
So yeah, buy it and come back as Zarktis and give it to Fleabite.
Mhm.
Was there anything else you needed, Fleabite?
Probably, but past Alexander didn't write down a lot of notes.
Damn him.
I think. Yes. Now we need time. Time is what we need. Yes.
I don't know where to buy that though.
Then let us see what we can find back in Emerald Green Inn. Yes.
Sounds good. Let's go.
So when I head back to Emerald Inn.
Mhm.
Yeah. And given how long the other people have taken, yeah, you can just be back there. Yeah. And then I think as you are walking in, you're greeted by the one, the only Falcon. It's just staring up at both of you. Or
Looking
at
for
least
shelter
staring
from us.
straight at Fleabite and up
Mhm.
to you. Zark says,
I'll walk over and like give her one of those old head pats and be like, "Hey, Falcon, how's your day?"
"Did you get me a cape?"
Fuck.
And she just goes, "Fuck."
Fleabite, I'll be back. Those damn.
And I
Damn
think
session ends.
Zarx actually leave.
He's going to, unless you stop him.
No, on you go.
Yes, I guess Zark is
On
just
I go.
Yep, heads back outside. Yep. I like that he swishes his cloak off, goes to hang it up. "Did you get me a cape?" Swings it back on. Just fuck. Off I go.
Grandpa Simpson.
Yep.
Yeah, that.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Mhm.
So good. Yep.
Well, I think then as soon as Zarxus leaves, Fleabite will look into back and pull out fine cloth gown.
All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Goes, "Oh, that's nice."
And just sort of hand it to Falcon. Yes.
You're a
It
monster.
is. Yes. It is a bit dry shine. Might want dirt fill yet. Make it hard to see from far distance. Yes.
She kind of nods and then like wipes her nose on her sleeve, and she goes, "Yeah." Just matter of factly.
But yeah, Fleabite hands it to her.
Yeah, and she kind of takes it and looks at it. Then she kind of like does that thing where she swings it like over her shoulders and then ties the sleeves around her neck and wears it like a cape. It's probably quite big, right? Probably trails quite a bit, probably. Any other stats on it other than fine cloth gown?
It costs 25 gold.
Nice. So yeah,
Damn.
And I think I think Fleabite will say to her and Quick Paw, you still have no sharp claw knife, yes?
she kind of scratches like her butt and kind of looks at you.
How dare you treat my daughter better than me?
And she goes, "No, lady." She just waves vaguely towards the beads that lead to the kitchen. She doesn't like things to happen. Pointy things.
Then I think Fleabite will pull out a dagger. Not the murder dagger.
I was gonna say what?
This is actually going to be Fleabite's dagger. That his actual physical dagger, not his magic one.
Mhm.
One that he started off.
His character creation dagger.
Character creation dagger, indeed.
Oh my.
Which I know stat-wise is no different from any of the 21 other daggers that Fleabite has.
But this one technically came from another world.
No, it didn't.
Ah.
It came from before the world was really a thing, though, when we did character gen. Because he was the first to make a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's more impressive. I mean, I'm thinking Fleabite's got a thing for. I forgot her name again.
Falcon.
Falcon, damn it.
Or Quick Paw, as she's called by Fleabite.
Quick Paw.
Or Quick Claw. I don't know. Each to their own.
I mean, if Fleabite tries and gets a tattoo now with like Quick Claw, I think Fleabite's got a crush.
Thankfully, Fleabite and Falcon share a background. We come from the same place.
Both came from the streets.
Yep.
Yes. I think we both, if she was to create a character, she would also have the same background features.
Yeah.
That is where I'm basing this affinity from before anyone is concerned.
Yes.
No one's concerned. Skaven are aromantic. Damn it!
So, she kind of looks at you, like,
Yes.
puzzled as you're, like, asking her that question.
Best keep hidden quiet. Not want enemies or even sometimes friend help to know when you have sharp claw. And hold it out.
And she kind of goes, "Oh, for me?"
Just sort of nod very slightly.
And then she kind of, like, takes it, like, possibly a little snatchy, because maybe that's all she knows how to do. And then she kind of looks at it. Does it have, like, a sheath with it, or is it just a
I'm
dagger?
going to say yes.
Sure, that'll do. She takes it out of the sheath, looks at it. Look, like, can you describe the dagger for everybody? Like, what's it look like?
Is not going to be green, despite
Mhm.
that being the obvious choice. I am going to say fairly simple, in my mind, it's like a bayonet that they use nowadays.
Okay.
I will quickly get like.
Yeah, find us a wee image, dump it in the Discord, and we'll see. Because the image I'm getting is something like this, the way you described that there, only maybe not quite as shiny.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much exactly. That's better than the easily found ones that I've seen.
Whereas the thing that Adair got was like way super fancy. Wasn't that, but it was definitely more akin to that. I think
Yeah, I reckon because it was sort of the first sharp stabby thing that Fleabite could find after being sort of rescued by the turtle
Cognac.
Cognac. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go with that, but not shiny.
Yeah, just like something you'd found, yeah. And that's the thing I gave you. That was the art I think we picked for the dagger you've got there.
Pretty.
Yeah.
See, I always picture this.
I mean, to be honest, it's not a million miles away, is it? The thing I said.
Yeah.
I think it really is. Have you tried using it like a flip?
I haven't yet. I'm saving that.
When Von Rune gives you a mask.
No, the shoulder pad, surely, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Hell yeah.
my fancy duds. I mean, you didn't do a sketch, so you know.
Yeah, I am now though. Let me go. 80s on the shoulder pads.
Oh yeah,
Hell
I'm bringing
yeah.
it back.
That's the measurements. So yes.
So yeah, keep quiet hidden.
And then she like goes to put it up like her sleeve, and then realizes that's not gonna work. And then she goes to like put it in like a shoe, and then that's not gonna work. So she kind of just like tucks it in like the back of her pants, and then she kind of like ties her like pants tighter, and then she kind of looks at you, and she looks at like the fact that she's wearing a dress tied around her neck. She goes, "This is why I need a cape."
Fleabite just sort of looks a bit confused, like, wasn't that a cape? Like, sure.
She kind of just nods, and then she looks at you for like a long second, right? And then there's probably an awkward look from you back, and then she just goes in and hugs you.
Yeah, just freeze.
Mhm.
No response, but also no like bite.
Yeah. And then
For Fleabite, that's affection. No biting.
yeah, and then she lets go and like takes a couple of steps back and awkwardly looks at you and then says, "Thank you."
I think Fleabite's just off. He's going upstairs to
Yeah.
his room.
And then
Affection.
she swishes her dress cape a bit, and and then like kind of picks it up, still tied around her neck, of course, but picks up the tailing end of it, and then like rushes off to the kitchen area. So, Xerxes, where do you go?
Yeah. Back to the tailor lady.
Okay, yep, so you're back at Meal's.
Mm-hmm.
You stand at the door going, whew. And then someone appears at the door and they say, welcome. And then like put their hand out for your outer garments.
Hand a jacket to her.
Yep. And then one of the male attendants appears with a drink for you.
Yes, thank you. This place treats us right.
And then you're shown to the seating area.
Good.
And then a very familiar face clacks out very swiftly, very tight clacks on the wooden floor, and then she stands at the top of the slightly sunken, very almost 70s vibed seating area, and she says, "Welcome back."
Is it ready yet?
Ha! She just says, slightly exasperated, and she says,
"Forgive the interruption on what I assume can only be a very busy evening for you."
She puts like a hand on like her stomach as if suppressing a laugh, and then just kind of like does that wave midair as if batting the suggestion just out of the shop. And then she says, I know batting's a terrible word to use in this city.
No, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was well worded.
And thank you. And she says, a servant to my customers. She says, as if exhausted. Smiles politely.
I am in need of a cape.
I can add that on to the order, of course.
Actually, it's a gift for
I see.
a child.
How lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And
so I was thinking,
the age of this child?
That is a fantastic question that I don't know the answer to.
You're a terrible father.
Good. I see. A surprise child and a surprise gift. How novel.
Mm-hmm.
She called the police.
It's just for a little urchin that I helped employed. She wanted a gift while I was out.
She goes, altruism. Huh. And then she'll go, she puts like her hand out to the side of her and she like gestures as like, roughly what height am I dealing with here? And she moves her hand up and down.
Right around there.
She goes, probably 9 or 10. And nods.
It's about as good a guess as I can make.
And she kind of like fixes her blouse and her skirt and she says, and do you have a design in mind? I have several capes that would be suitable. Would you like to come see them?
You know what? Sure.
Please, come this way. And like does a very tight swing of the arms without moving her elbows. Bring the drink. And then
Ooh.
Then yes, she heads off to like, a similar area, like not quite the same room with all the mannequins of all the house styles. But it's more like a kind of, almost like a kind of long, kind of shelving, wardrobe type setup with loads of like I guess, hung up clothing. And she kind of walks in and she like shouts off to some of her assistants that like start moving it. See like the way you get libraries that have their shelving units that can slide entirely off to the side. Imagine it like
have storage.
Yeah, like so imagine it a bit like looking at a filing cabinet drawer side on, right? And you're moving the files left to right. It's like that level of moving clothing racks across. And she's barked orders to get like a specific rack slid in front of you so that you'd only go down the one corridor. And then she walks all the way down to the end. She goes, well, come along. Try not to spill. And then you just get like about, 2/3 of the way down. And she like stops abruptly and pivots 90 degrees. And then she says, from here all the way to the wall. These would be the suitable garments.
Are they in the families?
None of these
Or
are
like-
specifically
Family themed?
and she kind of looks at you and she goes, yes, they're all neutral, if you will.
Mhm.
And she says, is there a house you would prefer to drape this child in?
Well, I am quite fond of the Vikers.
As you are. A forest green
There.
also?
Sure.
And she kind of walks all the way down to, like, you know, halfway through the rack that she's in, and then she like pulls out a forest green cloak that would suit Falcon, right? It's the right length and everything.
Perfect.
And then she says, I can adorn this similar to the designs you wished for yours if you want me to do this too.
I do.
Excellent. You wish them delivered together?
Yes, if that's all right.
It is. Would you like the price in gold or platinum?
Gold, please.
It will be 20 gold.
We'll make it so. I'll hand over, or I assume I have to pay it front, but yeah.
And she
I
kinda-
subtracted 20 gold.
Yeah. The way that works is you go out to the front again and there's somebody standing with some nice kind of platter that you sit the money on. She never touches the money. She just takes the order straight away and then just smiles politely and leads you back out to the front like a good host. And then that person's already standing waiting for the glass and the money. And then she
Well,
says,
thank you again.
oh, my pleasure, of course. Tell all of your friends. And if not, make some friends to tell. She laughs briefly.
I'll do my best. And I'll raise my glass and then down it.
And then she smiles and she says, you may have to pace yourself on your visits. She briefly laughs again. And then,
Oh, I'm not sure I
Never
can.
that.
Throws a wink.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she catches it midair. And then just pockets it. And then you notice it happens to go where her pocket watch would have been. And then she like
What?
does that thing where she like waves her finger at you, like cheekily. Almost like she's saying, I appreciate the gesture, but I have no time for this right now.
Mhm.
And then off she walks back to wherever it is she was through the back. And then the wonderful attendant at the door is standing holding your coat ready.
Perfect.
Mayals is the best store I think I've ever made ever. I'm just
I love it.
that.
I would go there every day.
Oh,
Very
dear.
Beverly Hills.
Right. It's just a very nice vibe, and I suppose if you got money. But yeah, there you go. You've managed to order a nice forest green cape in the Viker style. For wonderful Falcon. Excellent. Wonderful. What's your plan now?
I'm just heading back.
Cool. Let's go back. Adair, do you want to give me a roll?
Indeed. I love how he's going back without a cloak again.
Yeah, but now there's a cloak on its way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But she doesn't know that.
Perfect. Cool. I can work with a 16 finally. Oh, thank God. Yeah. So I think you work your way to like the end of the library at one end. And you get
Did I find an art book?
no. So you realise that maybe Z isn't the best place to be for art. So you decide, well, if this is Z, A must be at the other side.
It
Obviously,
should be at the end of this because it goes back round.
yeah, you'd think so, but it's
Yeah.
a fucking donut. And then so then you decide to swiftly head all the way back. Weirdly, A is where ancestry is as well. So luckily, guess who you find?
Oh my! I've been looking for you all over a library. Where have you been?
Hello, I've been here.
Why are you in this? What? I'm glad I'm finding you, but why are you so busy in library? What is going on?
I
Something.
decided to take the opportunity to look into the noble families, and I happened to meet your associate, King von Run, actually, in
He is here?
this section. Well, he was. I think he's long gone by now, or maybe just elsewhere. It's a
Hmm.
big library. Anyway, he said there was something interesting in this family tree, and I think I'm starting to get close.
Sorry, in his family tree?
No. This is the Tenan's family tree. No.
Ah.
See, it doesn't add up. They
What
don't
does not?
always. The city documents, there are a
Mhm.
lot of holes in because the noble families don't always submit all the documentation. No one's going to force them to. Fair enough. But yeah, that's that. But there's a lot of documentation that doesn't add up on Nan's side. Like they were trying to create a false narrative of their family tree so that there'd be evidence of it later. Like the other families don't want to share something, they just don't share it. But the
Hmm.
Tenans file suspicious looking. I just can't quite wrap my head around it just yet.
What are you
Would you care to
thinking?
have a look?
Are you thinking they are not actually twins, or this is not his sister, or what are you thinking?
They could be trying to disguise parentage. They could have a marriage, a birth, etc., that they want to keep out the records, so
Hmm.
that, for instance, there was no question about the heritage rights. If they wanted to avoid any trouble with another family, that they might have a see. This is the thing, because we heard that they don't really want to marry even one of the other noble families because that potentially risks elevating them. Right? The
That
other noble families, the ones that are big enough anyway, they marry into the hands. That potentially creates an heir to that family future
could
who
take over for them. That.
they risk setting up their own successors, I suppose. But
Hmm.
this, I've not found anything to indicate that.
I
But what
see a
I'm
lot
saying,
of books here. You have been very busy.
well, I've not fully read them. I'm just flipping through the relevant parts. Look, have a look. Have a look at that. Have a look at this.
Yeah, please. I will help you look through books.
So one of these can ideally it needs to really be a dare that takes lead on this, and Wagner can help.
I will say like, look. Take a seat. Have a look at this. The family tree.
This is
Have
a
a look.
book.
No, it's just a family tree. It'll be like a scroll.
It's not
Right?
tree.
No,
Sorry,
it's like,
couldn't resist.
it's a tree, like it's a tree drawing. You see?
Where are the holes in the books? These all look in good conditions.
They
You
are.
were saying there were holes in books and
No,
holes in
no.
stories.
Just look and you'll see what I mean.
Wagner gets fed up, tips candle onto book pile, just walks away.
Wagner, please.
Adair sits looking at pages. What is going on?
You'll see
So
what I
yes.
mean when you look.
So did you say I roll with advantage?
Yeah, because you need to do the roll because he already has
Mhm.
disadvantage, but he's getting to cancel it out because of what Von Rune did for him. So if he helps you, you get advantage.
And what is it I'm rolling?
Investigate. Yeah.
Oh dear. I mean, yay.
What's your investigation?
Ooh.
That's better than anything I've rolled.
Yeah. So it seems like, from what you can decipher from all of the fancy ways I could word this and dress it up in nice ways, but you can piece together from various books and random scrolls, a bunch of them point to, this other piece of text that seems to be in Primordial, of all languages.
Hmm.
Would you believe one of you speak? He says, waiting for both of you to look over your character sheets and then get back to me.
I actually think that I not speak.
Where does it say? I know it says languages.
Bottom
somewhere.
left.
I
Ah,
do speak it. Yeah, I do speak.
I do.
Yeah!
Both.
It's almost like the two people that needed to be here to learn this are here.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. So, in Primordial, it seems to be more of a Genacid-natured Primordial than anything the elementally inclined dwarves would translate. So it's a bit rough for Vanger. But the dialogue that you're translating is the Lord and Lady Tunan, so not like Noah and Glint, obviously, but their parents.
The originals. Oh, just their parents.
Yeah, it's like their parents. Didn't have 2 kids. They only had 1.
Male or female?
Male.
So he really doesn't have a sister.
And yeah. The name of the child is there.
And what does it say?
Uh-huh.
Charleston. And that's where we go to break.
Oh my god! Need some history!
So, yeah, I'm gonna pop us on break now.